9 super fun, underrated sci-fi comedies unfairly judged by critics. It is well established that movie critics sing praises of movies about pain, suffering, and tragic nuances of human life. But films that aim to entertain the masses and are crowd pleasers are widely ignored. What's wrong with some harmless, mindless fun every once in a while? Instead, they would rather have you sit through 2 hours of trying to come to terms with the meaning and purpose of human life or the epiphany of self-discovery. Movies are meant for everyone, and not everyone shares the same taste. It is high time that critics stop gatekeeping and start judging movies based on the merits of their own genre instead of holding all movies to an impossible ideal standard. So here are 9 super fun sci-fi movies that will earn you glares from snobbish critics but guarantee you quality amusement. We recommend you take one for the team and watch these. We promise you won't be disappointed. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Prepare to taste a turbocharge of justice in the face!
Watch out!
Number 1. Turbo Kid, 2015. The movie is set in a futuristic post-apocalyptic world. At the center of it all is a young boy called the Kid, and the girl of his dreams, Apple, living in a dystopian society called Wasteland run by Zeus, a man called Zeus, not the Greek god of thunder and lightning. The Kid is a young comic book loving loner who likes to keep to himself, but a chain of unfortunate circumstances causes Zeus to develop a personal vendetta against the Kid and the girl of his dreams. Now the Kid must overcome his fears, leave his awkward nerd self behind, learn the virtues of friendship and honor, and save the wasteland and his girlfriend. Turbo Kid is, at its heart, a movie about embracing the inner hero in you in the face of extreme circumstances. It's a movie about the dream that all little boys grow up having, a kingdom to protect and a girl to save. It is an action comedy at heart, and the plot serves only one purpose: nostalgia. It pays homage to Mad Max, draws a lot of reference to it, and clearly indicates it as an influence. It serves as a treasure chest of Easter eggs and pop culture references. It also has a great soundtrack. The CGI and the robots may look a little under budget, but that is only to imbibe the retro feel that the movie is trying to sell. The true strength of the movie is in the emotion it has. The movie's intention of paying homage to Mad Max and similar blockbusters of the 80s shines through clearly. Not only is it thoroughly entertaining, but it is also deeply endearing as well as cheesy, bringing up buried memories and dreams, especially for older viewers. All in all, it is a bona fide cult classic and treat for sci-fi lovers.
I'll get you for this, you nigger kike wop!
Into the mud, scum queen! You'll never get a penny of that inheritance.
Number 2. The Man with Two Brains, 1983. Dr. Michael Hafer is a renowned and world-famous brain surgeon who one day hits Dolores Benedict in an unfortunate car accident. He tries to save her life by using a surgical procedure that he himself invented, a kind of cranial brain surgery. The surgery works, Dolores recovers, the two fall in love and get married. However, Dolores is only with him for his money, and Dr. Michael is still pining for his previous wife. But when the two of them travel to Vienna for a medical conference in Vienna, they meet a doctor called Dr. Alfred Necessiter, who uses unconventional methods. It is finally then that things start to unravel and get out of hand. This movie stars the brilliant actor Steve Martin in the role of Dr. Michael Hafer, and some believe it to be his best comedy to date. His comedic genius shines through brightly as always and carries the movie on its back. This is Steve Martin's third film with director Carl Reiner. It is evident from watching the movie that everyone had a good time while making it, and that it is translated to the palpable chemistry visible on the screen. The film also boasts of Kathleen Turner in the role of the gold digger Dolores. This movie is wacky, completely insane, and over the top and downright hilarious and filled with laughs. That is why the fans love and adore it. However, there is little consensus about the movie amongst Steve Martin fans. Some consider this his best work, while others consider it his worst. Our personal opinion is that this movie is an underrated genius. Number 3. Nektrotonic, 2018. It is 2018 and demons are now stealing people's souls through their smartphones. Nektrotonic is a movie about a man who finds out that he is a member of a secret society that hunts and kills internet monsters. Nektrotonic was influenced by the 1984 sci-fi novel Necromancer by William Gibson. It was imagined as a mashup of the iconic films Ghostbusters, The Exorcist, and The Matrix. It is the second movie by Kia Roach-Turner after their first film, Wormwood, 2014, was received well by the fans. However, the plot is only of secondary importance in the movie. It is there only to provide some structure to the insane entertainment, which is what the movie is really about. This movie packs a ton of blood and action, the dialogues are cheesy, and the characters are styled after comic books. It is the perfect combination of sci-fi, comedy, violence, horror, and action. Nektrotonic is fast-paced and packed with entertainment from start to the end. The movie is a guilty pleasure for everyone who is looking for a quick fix of gore and gunfights along with some humor. Monica Bellucci starring as the evil mother of demons is a definite reason to watch the movie. For a low-budget movie, it doesn't betray the fact. It is very well made and also uses old-school special effects instead of modern CGI. Nektrotonic premiered at the Tokyo International Film Festival in 2018 and debuted in Australia's Sci-Fi Film Festival held in Sydney in 2019. The movie was also nominated for Best Hair and Makeup in the 9th AACTA Awards. The audience reviews for this movie are raving with praise. Everyone agrees that it is perfect, mindless, bloody enjoyment as occasionally movies should be. Number 4. Grabbers, 2012. An island in Ireland is suddenly plagued by blood-hungry sea monsters. As inhabitants notice dead whales washing up on shores and people keep going missing, a few locals discover an unlikely solution that keeps the creatures away: alcohol. They discover that high levels of blood alcohol make it impossible for the monsters to digest them. No one is complaining, and now the inhabitants of Aran Islands must remain drunk to protect themselves until they figure out a way to deal with these monsters. This movie has the allures of an offbeat Irish comedy. The film packs several scenic shots of Ireland's rural beauty and its seashores, which are promptly destroyed by the monsters in their search for prey. The monsters in the movie are grotesque and developed in detail, and the gory scenes of monsters are well balanced with humor and comedy. The acting is outstanding, and while the storyline is predictable, that doesn't make it any less endearing. The warmth and togetherness of the community as it gathers in pubs every night to become drunk is touching. The monster in this movie, called the Grabber, has similar features to the monster called Facehugger from the movie Alien in 1979. Grabbers also has a few other references to this famous franchise. An interesting fact about the movie is when the movie's writer Kevin Lehane was backpacking, he heard an urban legend that eating Marmite prevents mosquito bites. Hearing that, he wondered if alcohol levels in people's blood affect mosquitoes. That thought stuck with him, and he ended up writing the script for this movie. At its heart, Grabbers is an indie movie that remains largely undiscovered. It is better than you'd expect it to be, and it deserved more credit than it got. It is wholesome and heartwarming despite the monsters and a memorable horror comedy. All in all, it is a perfect recipe for some Netflix and chill.
This is gonna be interesting.
Number 5. Iron Sky, The Coming Race, 2019. Iron Sky, The Coming Race follows the premise of the first movie Iron Sky, which came out in 2012. In it, Nazis had planned to take over the Earth by hiding for several years in a secret base located on the moon. In this movie, it is 20 years later and Earth is destroyed by a nuclear war. What was earlier the Nazis' hiding place is now the only refuge left for Earth's remaining inhabitants as the world is overrun by poverty, overpopulation, and famine. But deep underground near the center of the Earth, there is an untapped source of unlimited power that could either save Earth or destroy it completely. The heroes of Iron Sky must fight aliens and old enemies for its control. Can they defeat their enemies? Will they be betrayed once again? This movie is filled to the brim with pop culture references from Star Trek to The Last Supper. It is tongue-in-cheek and gladly pokes fun at cultural icons both contemporary as well as older. The acting is good and the movie is cheesy as it's intended. The CGI is good and improved from the first movie. The Coming Race also has an excellent soundtrack by Finnish composer Tuomas Kantelinen. This movie is a crazy comedy that guarantees chuckles with some bizarre scenes, such as Hitler riding a dinosaur. The silliness of the movie is made up with a plot that is out of the world, quite literally. It is a fast-paced science flick with almost equal parts of aliens as well as science. This Finnish-German film is delightful and is not for those who take all movies seriously. It is meant to be enjoyed as mindless fun and entertainment.
Watch this.
Number 6. Monster Trucks 2016. An oil company unknowingly unleashes 3 subterranean creatures during their drilling operations. They capture 2, but the third one manages to escape in the surrounding town. A young man, Trip, is frustrated with his life in the small town and plans to leave the region. He is building a pickup truck, but his efforts to leave do not materialize until he comes across this strange creature. He might have stumbled across the most unlikely friend, and this could be his chance to get out of the town. This movie from the director of Ice Age is the perfect movie to plan an outing with your family. Monster Trucks is an old-fashioned action adventure that ticks all the boxes. It has great lighting, excellent camera work, and stunning visuals. The plot may be slightly far-fetched, but what is most important is that it is perfect for watching with kids in the house. The monsters aren't terrifying, they're likable, and over time you grow to feel for them. A bonus for the movie is that it builds up its characters slowly, giving you time to get to know them well, so by the end of the movie you end up empathizing. The movie's implicit messaging too is very important. It encourages children and people to be kind and understanding, which are crucial qualities, especially in present times. Monster Trucks has received glowing reviews from viewers. It is a hidden gem and a definite must-watch. Number 7. Evolution 2001. A meteorite crash lands on Earth in Arizona and becomes the responsibility of 2 community college professors when they are asked to go and check out the site. An innocuous investigation turns sinister when they discover an unusual blue fluid trickling out of the meteorite. The professors are concerned that the meteorite may host life forms that are not of this Earth. Before their eyes, they see the alien life forms reproducing rapidly, as soon enough, the military has to be called in. As the government takes over the supervision of the crash site, Dr. Kane and Professor Harry are edged out and denied access. On the other hand, the aliens keep mutating, reproducing, and growing faster than they can be contained. It is now up to the 2 professors to try to save the world while going against the government. Can they make it in time before the aliens take over? Evolution is a sci-fi comedy that knows how to hit the mark. It is enjoyable, provides solid entertainment, and a good many laughs. The movie has cool effects, likable characters, and is even witty in places. David Duchovny, who refused a role in Star Wars Episode II Attack of the Clones for this movie, did an excellent job. This movie is directed by Ivan Reitman, one of the most well-known comedy directors of the 80s and also the director of the famous movie Ghostbusters 1984. This movie was initially intended to be a serious sci-fi thriller, but Ivan Reitman hired writers to rewrite it as a comedy instead. This movie is no masterpiece, but it is fun and clever and guarantees nearly 2 hours of hearty enjoyment. Number 8. Clockstoppers 2002. Quantum Tech Corporations is developing a technology called hypertime, which allows the molecules of the person who is using it to speed up to the extent where it appears that the entire world around them is standing still. But the technology isn't perfected yet. There is still a glitch, and a dangerous one. If the user stays in hypertime for too long, the glitch causes the user to age very quickly in real life. A teenager, Zach, ends up getting his hands on a prototype of this technology, and he quickly learns how to use it. Following that, he and his new friend Francesca have fun messing around with the gadget, have many adventures with it, and use it to explore hypertime. But they realize quickly enough that they are not the only ones there, and the scientists want their prototype back. Clockstoppers is essentially a kids' movie by Nickelodeon. It loosely resembles the plot of a 1980 movie called The Girl, The Gold Watch, and Everything. The acting is good, but the special effects are what take the cake. The slowed down visual effects to demonstrate the effects of hypertime are the highlight of this movie, and they're simply mesmerizing. Overall, Clockstoppers is a light-hearted action comedy sci-fi. You root for the kids trying to outsmart the nefarious evil scientists, and you enjoy their adventures along with them. This is the first feature film by director Jonathan Frakes that is not part of the Star Trek franchise. Number 9. Earth Girls Are Easy, 1988. Valerie Gale is a Valley girl engaged to her boyfriend, Dr. Ted Gallagher. Of late, she noticed the lack of spark in the relationship and decides to amp up the romance by making an elaborate plan to seduce him. Instead, she ends up finding out that he's cheating on her with a nurse. Furious and hurt, she breaks up with him. Meanwhile, 3 aliens traveling around the galaxy somehow receive a broadcast showcasing human females. Engrossed and fascinated by this new species, they decide to track the location and see where it was transmitted from. They then dutifully follow the map, which leads them straight to Southern California as they crash land right in the middle of Valerie Gale's swimming pool. With her wedding not on the cards anymore, Valerie has a lot of time on her hands and nothing much to do. What happens when a Valley girl decides to take in 3 furry aliens with a penchant for American culture? Watch this movie to find out. Earth Girls Are Easy is wonderfully chaotic, funny, and silly in all the right quantities. The movie affectionately pokes fun at the typical LA girl lifestyle in the 80s and is full of wild antics as the aliens try to settle into Earth and pass off as regular humans. Of course, adopting the culture of 1980s California isn't as easy as it sounds, and so throughout the movie, we see them getting into all kinds of hilarious scrapes. The movie is also filled with song and dance numbers throughout, and the style of music closely resembles that of B-52s. They had nothing to do with this movie. The film boasts of a stellar cast with Jeff Goldblum and Jim Carrey, who went on to become a superstar, playing 2 of the 3 aliens. Gina Davis, who was formerly Jeff Goldblum's partner, plays the role of Valerie. The couple did 3 movies together, of which this is the 3rd and last. This movie is charmingly goofy and is perfect for a lighthearted watch. At its heart, Earth Girls Are Easy is a cheesy and fluffy love affair that is blooming between Valerie and one of the extraterrestrials. It is entertaining and absolutely unforgettable. You don't want to miss this one. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.